I want to talk to you about living in God's economy. We have to learn how to live in God's economy because God's economy is not like man's economy. See, the earth operates in chronological time. God operates in kairos time. We are not moving in chronological time in seasons of the earth. We are going to learn how to move in God's kairos time. Even in economic crisis, you can be in a prosperity season where you receive and walk in God's abundant blessing. You can live in the kairos timeline. In the world's economy, things work according to times and seasons. But can I tell you that God exists outside of chronological time, but he does choose to work within it. Kairos time is a time of the Lord. It's a supernatural time. It is a place of safety and provision, and it is a place where God's people can prosper even in the midst of chronological crisis. God is not constrained to chronological crisis. This is what it says in Hebrews 11:11. By faith, Sarah herself received ability to conceive even beyond the proper time of life, since she considered him faithful who had promised. Sarah stepped out of her time into another time. Her physical body was beyond the time to bear children. Look, in chronological time, there may be much crisis. There may be barrenness coming. But it says this, by faith, she stepped into a different dimension, a different time, because she considered God faithful. She stepped outside of time and into eternity. She stepped outside of chronological time and into God's kairos time. Guys, I'm telling you, by faith, God wants to teach his people how to get in the Spirit, how to walk by faith, where literally time is your servant. You are not called to waste time. God has called you to bend time. We have been called to time travel as people. For what you thought would take 5 years is going to take 5 months. As people of faith, like Sarah, we are called to step out of the chronological timeline and into the kairos timeline of the Lord, which is the timeline of prosperity, abundance, blessing. He does not change. He is unchanging, unmoved, and we need to learn how to get and operate in that realm. We need to learn how to discern the seasons and times of heaven. We are stepping into a supernatural time of the Lord, a kairos moment where God is saying he's releasing abundance and blessing. There are appointed times and seasons from the throne room. These are kairos moments. These are those moments of God moments, divine moments that come to pass by his speaking. When we as his people learn to partner with his mouth, hindrances and limitations get broken. We accelerate the clock and we bend time. Your whole life becomes a kairos moment in God's economy. There are no famines. There are no recessions. There are no depressions. There are no plagues. And as his people, we're going to learn how to live in God's economy.